So last night, Clemson matched up with not Clemson, San Diego Chargers and Kansas City Chiefs played each other. He had two Clemson Tigers in there, Mike Williams and Sammy Watkins. You know that Sammy Watkins and Andre Hawkins, mainly Sammy Hawkins, were one of the reasons why Clemson started getting called wide receiver U. Sammy Watkins, Andre Hopkins, um, Adam Humphries, Tyler Winthrow, Pete played in there. I can't remember Pete's first name, but he played in there with the Jets for a minute. Mike Williams, this is who I mentioned earlier. Then you got Higgins and Ross, who to me they're more athletic than Mike Williams, but they're tall. Those tall receivers, Deion Kane, Avery Scott, receivers like that. Who went on to play in the NFL. Higgins and Ross already said to be one of the top receivers when they come out in the next couple of years. But I like to bring up some more Clemson Tigers who went in the first round, along with them fellas and some other future past great receivers that we don't really talk about in Clemson lore. But everybody know who Dwight Clark was. Dwight Clark was taken the 10th round pick by the 49ers. He was on the 49ers when they beat the Dallas Cowboys. It was called a catch. But there was a receiver that was better than him, went in the first round by the name of Jerry Butler. He went to the Bills. Jerry Butler, I'm not sure if it's still held today, but he had 255 yards versus the Jets. Came out in 1979. He played with Steve Fuller, who was drafted number 1 by Kansas City with Pittsburgh. He came out in 1979 with Jerry Butler. He was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs in the first round. That was that 11-1 team under Pete. Pete resigned because of they thought he was cheating, which they probably was. Him and Danny Ford. That was the 11-1 team beat Maryland. Then they only lost to Georgia 0-12. That was the team that beat Ohio State. You had Perry Tettle, also first round pick of the Bills, 19th overall, I believe, 1982. Puddle was a hero in the Nebraska game for the Orange Bowl for Clemson's first national championship. Pretty good guy. I met him a few times as a kid. He had Ron Garner, Washington Redskin. He was on the Boughton. Ron Garner played with Anthony Simmons. That's when they started doing that power spread run game, and very good receiver. Didn't do too much in the pros. Stuckey played in 07. He had Ford, Jacoby Ford. I think a lot of these guys played with the Bills. And you see with Sammy Watkins didn't have too much luck with the Bills, too, because he played with them, too. DeAndre Hopkins, his first year, 2010, he had 52 catches for 637 yards for a touchdown. 2011, he had 72 yards, 978 yards, and 5 touchdown catches. DeAndre Hopkins also had 82 yards in 2012 for 1,405. After that, he left. Todd Boyd was his quarterback. Him and Sammy Watkins were there at the same time in 2011. 2012, Sammy Watkins had 1,219 yards for 12 touchdowns as a freshman. Sammy Watkins was nasty. I really call him more of a football player than he was a wide receiver. And the reason why I say that, this dude, he was a kick returner. They put him in the backfield. They put him everywhere. And he just made plays, man. I don't know if anybody remember that shootout with Maryland, but Sammy Watkins took it home to the house to break the tie. I mean, he was nasty when he was out there. Sammy Watkins finished with 2013 with 161 yards, 101 catches, 1,494 yards, and 12 touchdowns his senior year. Only reason why he didn't get to 1,000 yards in 2012 because I think he got suspended for smoking weed in 2012. Mike Williams, 2014, his sophomore year, he had 1,030 yards and 6 touchdowns. That his junior year, he got hurt. He hit the goalpost playing against Wofford. I think it was Wofford. His last year at Clemson, he had 98 receptions for 1,396 yards and 11 interceptions. You also had Aaron Kelly, like mid 2000s. He played with Clemson. He was great, but he didn't do much of the pros. He's mainly known for his Canadian football talent. I just went and looked up some of these guys. I knew Puddle. I knew what Dwight Clark, like everybody else did. He came out of Clemson, but I was just looking up people and stuff because Clemson's known as wide receiver U at this current time. I personally, what I want to ask, who do you think the best wide receiver in Clemson history was? Only reason why I'm gonna go with Sammy Watkins because he was nasty. I mean, he ran the ball like a running back. People probably say Winfro because of what he did in the national championship game, which was great. But I like Sammy. Mike Williams. I think if Mike Williams would have played in that Alabama game, the year they lost to him down there in the Fiesta Bowl, I personally think we would have probably beat them. Really, if it wasn't for that onside kick and that kick return, Clemson would have had would have beat Alabama that year. That's what I believe, but that doesn't matter now. But from my uncle tell me, Butler was a beast in school. He had a lot of injuries in the pros. And then what's my other boy name? Tuttle. He was super fast. I don't think he had a lot of yards, but he was a beast too. But to go on a first round pick to the Giants, that was pretty amazing. But I'd like to hear, what do y'all think? Who was the best receiver in Clemson history in your opinion? Thank you.